Why do we have login, non-login, interactive, and non-interactive bash shells? So the bash man pages explain what login and interactive shells are. A login shell is one whose first character of argument 0 is A, or one started with a login option. An interactive shell is one started without non-option arguments and without the C option whose standard input and error are both connected to terminals, as determined by AZADI3, or one started with the I option. PS1 is set and $includes I if bash is interactive, allowing a shell script or a startup file to test this state. I think this means we can have 4 different types of shells. Interactive login shells, non-interactive login shells, interactive non-login shells, non-interactive non-login shells. But why do we have interactive/non-interactive and login/non-login shells in the first place? Why the variety? What would we lose if we only had one type of shell? Also, when trying to determine if I am in a login shell by running echo $, it outputs some of these flags are explained here, but H, and M are not explained. Is there a place that describes all these flags?
These are my thoughts on the different types of shells. Unfortunately, I didn't witness the rise of the UNX right from the beginning. I assume this concept has grown historically to a good extent, so please be critical. When I log into a system, nowadays via the graphical X login, there might be some tasks which should run once. For example, establish a connection to some kind of server, present me the today's Toto list, auto start some commands, etc. This shouldn't happen every time I open up a new terminal. So there's a set of config files, /etc/profile, .bash_login, and so on. Refer to the manual for an accurate list, sourced only by login shells. Accordingly, to close the connections, kill some programs, run a backup script. There it is, ~bash_logout, when the login shell exists. So, the normal shell I use in a terminal, shouldn't buy a login shell, but nevertheless should read my personal preferences from, ~bash, because I want my key bindings to interact with the shell, hence this is an interactive, non-login shell. And last, but not least, when bash is used for scripting, neither of this is important. Bash should start as fast as it can, i.e. shouldn't read any config files. This is a non-interactive, non-login shell. So, my answer to your question, what would we lose if we only had one type of shell, is in one word: flexibility. The answer to your second question is easy. $lists the current set of options. These can either be set by command line parameters to bash or via the set built-in. So you have to look at 2 places in the manual. Options section. Shell built-in commands, section, subsection set.